the FBI now is involved. So for all of you paid actors or protesters that have been out here, if I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to do, I don't want nobody to know about it. If you're selling drugs in the community, then you usually are less visible. And that's what Frank Lucas taught us, right? In An American Gangster. If you got felonies on your record or you are an illegal migrant inside of the United States of America, chances are, you know what? I kind of want to lay low. I don't want to be out here protesting. And for a lot of people, they're out here spray painting buildings, setting fire to stuff and all of that. And I think that they need to be treated like the criminals that they are, and they need to be held accountable to the highest extent of the law. Here's a summary of FBI investigations underway. And we want to get Kevin O'Leary's take on this, because I thought that he had an interesting take about what's going on.
The recent string of arson attacks targeting Tesla vehicles. Federal agents are investigating. Attorney General Pam Bondi called them nothing short of domestic terrorism. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky is here with the story. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. Domestic terrorism and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General's calling for severe consequences. Molotov cocktails were thrown at Tesla lots in Las Vegas. Several vehicles went up in flames. The same suspect shot more Teslas with a gun, spray painted the word resist on the building. Tesla Cybertrucks were set on fire in Kansas City, and earlier this month, shots fired at a Tesla dealership in Oregon. Teslas spray painted near Boston, Cybertrucks on fire in Seattle. These crimes against the company owned by Elon Musk are increasing as Musk...
Gotta be white people cars. Gotta be white people cars. I'm telling you, it has to be. By all means, it has to be white people cars. Nowhere in the world that you're telling me that you are out here doing anything to somebody else's vehicle without finding out the hard way. Because see, maybe it's just at the dealerships. And I know that the cars got cameras on them and all of this stuff. And of course these people are going to get caught. So that goes without saying. But it gotta be white people cars, because as soon as I see you walking by with my car on Century mode, come out, here comes a Century gun. Soon as I see you walking past my car with Century mode on and they give me that alert, and you on my property and I feel threatened, it's got to be. It has to be. Kevin O'Leary had an interesting take of the people that are against Elon Musk and deciding that they want to burn up Teslas and stuff like this. But before we get to Kevin O'Leary, I don't understand why y'all can't keep y'all hands to yourself. These are Democrats that own these cars. These are Republicans that own these cars. The insurance company is going to pay it off, and then I'm just going to go and get another one. Why haven't you kept your hands to yourself?
What a juxtaposition from an amazing engineering, heroic rescue feat yesterday, and then the folks in this country, I guess egged on by one of our governors, who want to destroy the property of the guy who made that rocket go up and come back down.
First of all, like most people that are watching both sides of this, I would like to see the law upheld. Arson is a crime. You should go to jail for that. There's cameras all over those lots. The cars themselves have cameras that record what happens around them. And I think they should be persecuted relentlessly for what they're doing, because loss of property is one of the laws we support in our democracy. It doesn't matter what party you're on. And I thought, most people would look at that and say, I'm not okay with it. Democrats own these cars, Republicans own these cars. These are criminals. They should go to jail, number one. Is he a hero? Well, apparently the government couldn't get them back with all the money they gave Boeing. My tax dollars went to Boeing. I didn't want to do that. They failed at the mission, and a private company happens to be founded by Elon Musk was successful. That's a fact, too. I think we should keep going with Elon because he actually has executional skills while others don't. And if I were the CEO of Boeing, I would put my head in shame today because I could not deliver, and my bird is still on the ground, and his bird is flying back and forth. Also,
Elon Musk should be hailed as a national hero. He literally got back astronauts that Biden left in space. Boeing failed to be able to deploy a rocket to get them back down from space. And Elon Musk did it within 2 months. Within 2 months of Trump being in office, he got those astronauts that's back down in space. And so we give him no credit from that. We give him no credit for that. I believe personally that a lot of these people that are doing this stuff, I think that they're paid to do it. I think that there's paid people that are paid to create protests and incite riots, that start strong, whatever debates and all of that stuff. I don't know. Y'all might just be in the wrong cities because they don't play that junk here.
I think everybody should just get over it and realize what's really going on here. This guy is an American hero. He's an incredible entrepreneur, great executional skills, and everybody burns his cars. I'd like to see them in prison as terrorists.
Well, Dagan, let me go to you on that, because I think the domestic terrorism question is obviously been open. Attorney General Pam Bondi said this is domestic terrorism. We're going to go after them for that. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Last thing I need is the government on my butt.
And I'll defer to Jackie, but there are a number of different statutes that they can use. They can treat this as domestic terrorism, but I would also like to see the FBI and Justice Department track where the money is coming from to fund these attacks. And
hit them with the RICO.
Coordinated in any way and funded from one or two large sources, you are potentially looking at RICO charges. So racketeering, the racketeering statutes, and I know arson is under one of those. And when you look at federal charges, they are incredibly severe. And when you get sentenced to federal prison, you go away and you serve virtually the entire sentence. There is little leniency and there is no parole. In essence, you serve the whole sentence.
I agree. I believe that we need to find out where all of the money and the funding is coming from, because you're not going to convince me that these people are taking off of work every day. The whole group of them, all of them are taking off of work every day, and people are willing to risk their freedom so that they can go to jail with all of the technology and the tracking and the triangulation of exactly where your phone is pinging from every day. Every day. Nobody got a job. Everybody out protesting. Everybody is saying that Elon Musk is, come on, man, where the money at? Where the money at? This is a Millionaire Morning Show. We always need to know where the money is coming from. We can sit here and talk about all of the great things that Elon Musk did, but I want to know, where's the funding coming from? Who is it coming from? And why are we not doing a deeper dive into that? I don't want just the people, the bad actors arrested. I want the people that are incentivizing the bad actors to do this thing to also be arrested and face RICO charges.
But the idea that these, I always say, dangerous morons will moron dangerously and look no further than Tim Walz. But the idea that these people are celebrating the attacks on the stock market valuation decline, one of America's greatest companies, it really exemplifies what they're about. They're not.
You know, I heard Kevin O'Leary say something that was pretty interesting and profound. Tim Walz is running around doing town halls, and one of the things he said is, man, I'm so glad that Tesla stock is down. Man, I'm so glad that this is happening. Man, I'm so glad that Tesla stock is down, and blah, blah, blah. You do know that a lot of y'all retirement funds and your 401ks they have Tesla in the portfolio, right? Your success and your retirement and your pension and your 401k, Tesla was a part of the Magnificent Seven. If you don't know what the Magnificent Seven is, it's nothing for us to talk about. You do know that your retirement is interdependent on the success of some of these companies that you're very much rooting for. Y'all can't be this dense. You can't be this dumb. You can't be this dumb. You know, I see people rooting for the stock market to fall, which is fine with me because that's how I'm going to get really, really, really rich. See, that's how I'm going to get rich. Forget the contracts, forget the earning. Man, listen, I'm all in. I'm all in every single month. When I do my budget, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm deploying every single resource into buying more shares of the companies that we research inside of Stock Club on a Patreon. I am all in. You do know that that's the thing that's gonna put me over the 100 million mark, right? That's the thing that's going to have me stunting over there in Monaco. You going to suffer. We going to get... Y'all know that rich people don't lose, right? Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. This is a little secret. It's an open secret amongst people that know. Rich people never lose. Never. Never, ever. Never lose. The middle, when we see them say tax the rich, when we see them say raise taxes, when we see them say, oh man, I'm so happy that the valuation, you know that we make money going down and going up, right? You know that we make money going down and going up, right? The only people that suffer is you. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry about it.
About ideology, because Tesla has done more to further the goal of fighting climate change than any company. It is about just a bunch of craven ciphers who worship at the altar of self and accumulation of power. And I'd just like, and I'm teeing up Jackie, I'd like somebody to ask Mark Kelly, a veteran and former astronaut, if you were you sold your Tesla and made the break, I bought this giant Chevy. If you were stuck up there, would you turn down a ride on SpaceX? Just curious about that, you bloviating fool.
It's a great question, and I love the soundbite that we bumped in on, the Hannity soundbite with Elon Musk, where Elon says, we had the capability to go up and rescue these people way sooner. We offered that to the previous administration, and they said no. To me, that means not only was this political activism on their part, but those people became political pawns. They became political prisoners in space, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Now, there is a corollary theory to this, and Mark Kelly's brother, Scott, who is also a retired astronaut, was on with Brett last night. This is what the left is saying to counter what Elon Musk is saying, that we could have gone up there to get them sooner.
They have had a spacecraft up there since September that was going to bring them home. They've always had a ride home, and the decision to keep them up there had nothing to do with politics. It was just the fact that you need crew members to operate the space station. And they were the two that were there, and you had to send up a vehicle with 2 empty seats. So the safest thing to do was to just leave them there.
Okay, so I just want to get this straight. They always had a ride home, but you needed more crew members to operate the space station, so they couldn't come home. And also, they were the only two there, so you had to send up another vehicle with 2 empty seats. So they didn't have a ride home, and that's why they didn't come home. And had Elon sent his spaceship a little sooner, they would have been here. These people are going to have an impact as a result of this, physically, probably for the rest of their lives.
Imagine having a disability because our federal government was so incompetent under the Biden administration that they didn't have a plan to be able to get you home. And they were dependent on Boeing, who largely have been embroiled in scandal and paying for people to die, allegedly, on top of the fact that they've had problems with their own planes staying in the sky. And they are criticizing Elon Musk, and they have something to say about Elon Musk. Imagine being stuck in the sky, in space for months and months and months, and not knowing when you're going to come home, and being dependent on a billionaire, a genius billionaire, to be able to get you down.
Fact that, we're playing politics with people's lives, or we're playing politics with companies and allowing laws to be, just completely ignored about destruction of property and the terrorism and all that it's wild. But that's what the left does when the narrative doesn't work for them.
Well, Taylor, Dagan said something that caught my attention. It's actually, with these folks, it's not even about ideology. It's not like there are ideas that are motivating the people on the left who are burning down Tesla stuff and Musk stuff, or maybe even the folks involved in the decision about when the astronauts come home. It's sort of worse than that. It's like a hatred. It's a visceral, emotional reaction against. And I come to you on this because you're the person who gives me the other side of that, which is the emotional, visceral, love of the heroism that's happening in this moment.
So this is what I can't figure out. The left used to be peaceful, and now they're advocating for violent protests. This was the party that used to want to avoid war, and now they're advocating burning things down because my toddler does that. Threatens to burn things down when she doesn't get her way. Except that we're 30, 40, 50-year-olds and not 2-year-olds.
It's pretty advanced for a toddler to
You
burn
know what I
down.
mean, right? Not threatening to burn things down, but making threats in general. To celebrate the decline of a stock price, I think the left 20 years ago was pro-capitalism. I would never root for the price of a stock to decline unless the fundamentals tell you that it should go down. You don't do it because you happen to not like the CEO. Okay, I will not get emotional, but there is nothing more emotional than when that capsule hits splashdown and you hear those words from everyone at SpaceX, not Boeing, not NASA, not the US government, from everyone at SpaceX, welcome home. That should be the global unifying message of all of this, that he managed to do something that no one else right now can do. Jeff Bezos is a little far behind, but he's not there. Virgin Galactic's a little far behind, but he's not there. So he literally, Elon Musk, is the only one who can do it. And I love this story. I love the splashdown. I think it's an incredible moment for innovators and dreamers all over the world.
There were some dolphins to welcome them?
There were dolphins welcoming home. I think the control room looks exactly like the control room of our producers. You see them back there with all over the computers. It's incredible.
Can I just make one comment also? This isn't the first time we've heard an emotional welcome home like that. This is one example of it, but I believe it was when Rick Grinnell went down to get the captives in Venezuela, where he said, I'm a diplomat, I'm paraphrasing, and I'm here to take you home.
Yes.
We're seeing this happen in so many different instances.
Well, it's a great public-private collaboration that we should be celebrating. This Elon burn the car stuff, this is direct derivative of Doge, which does not stop. I mean, he's agnostic to all this criticism because he keeps publishing all the waste every day, and people are freaking out about it. While they shouldn't be, it's their tax dollars being spent in nefarious ways in some cases and wasteful in other. It's really hard to understand the psyche here and how this got politicized.
I don't understand how it got politicized also, but again, welcome home to all of the astronauts. I hope they are not permanently messed up as a result of being left up in space. Again, I think that Elon Musk will go down in history also as one of the most prolific and patriotic people to the American people, even though he was not born in the United States of America. And things are absolutely, positively. I am excited. It is a positive time in our lives, and I am excited about everything that's going on. Can we give Elon Musk a round of applause? Do I need to order another Tesla?